The Elite Four. There's nothing more satisfying than eking out a victory against these goobers, especially for the first time. However, what if you wanted to defeat them with a single Pokemon? That's right, a single Pokemon. And if so, how many of them can accomplish this feat? Well, in this video, I will showcase 4 of them that have managed to defeat them all by themselves. So, there are only 2 rules for this video. 1, they must be level 55. That way, when they level up, they will just under-level the champion's ace. And the second rule is no items in battle. I'm pretty sure a Magikarp with 5x attacks and 5x speeds, coupled with a few full restore spamming, would be able to defeat the Elite Four, and that wouldn't make for a fun video. So, I'm only going to be using held items in battle, and trust me, they're going to be very useful. So without further ado, here are the clips of me defeating the Elite Four. Now here's Starmie, the absolute best Pokemon in this game. On screen, I'll have the set and EVs if you're curious. But Starmie possesses some of the just best moves in the entire game. All 4 of the greatest moves. You got Surf, Psychic, Thunderbolt, and Ice Beam, and you're just gonna see Starmie just tear apart Lorelei with just Thunderbolts, and maybe a few Psychics here and there. You're gonna see me try to get it out of range of a full restore so I can make this as fast as possible. But of course, Lapras doesn't make it easy with Confuse Ray and Hail nullifying my leftovers. But that's why I have the leftovers, so that way it can't really stall me out. And you see Lapras is really bulky, so of course it's not going to go down to a non-stab Thunderbolt from Starmie. Starmie doesn't have the best special attack on the planet, but that's okay, it doesn't really need it. And of course, you see what I mean by the full restores? Yeah, they get annoying after a while. What do you know, I snap out of confusion, isn't that great? Isn't that fantastic? And yeah, the rest of the match is basically just Thunderbolt spam, which that's all it really needs to be. This Lorelei for Starmie is a very one-note fight. There's a lot of RNG involved, however. Sometimes the Lapras can get a cheeky body slam paralysis, and we don't really need that in our lives. Slowbro, just if you wonder why I went for that Surf, it's just to get out of range. I don't know if Thunderbolt was a one-shot or not. So if that way I can securely get a one-shot. Jinx is the most annoying Pokemon here, but not really. It's just 2 Surfs, so I'll be fine. I resist both its stats. Oh, what do you know? It uses Lovely Kiss. So now I'm just stalling it out for the next, I don't know, 15 seconds. And you can see Starmie's special defense is not really that fantastic, so it's taking a lot from these resisted ice punches from Jinx. But that's what the leftovers are for. It's just for increased longevity, and Jinx goes down in another Surf. Very simple, very simple. Bruno, if you thought Lorelei was easy, no, Bruno is a joke. And I don't know why they made him this way. They just did. It is what it is. So he leads off with an Onix. And the Onix just gets surfed. Quite weak to surf. What can I say? And the rest of his Pokemon just go down to a single Psychic. Every single one. Cue in a 2001 song that we may know and love. Hopefully, you know, in the comments, maybe you'll know what I'm talking about. And yeah, just Surf, Psychic, Surf, Psychic. There's no boosts, and we're going to get to that in a little bit and how crazy boost sweepers are in this game. But Starmie is just that fast and that powerful. And this is all, you're going to see later why the speed EVs are going to come up. And guess what? Guess what? Every single Pokemon just drops to a single Psychic. The bodies are hurting the floor, alright. Gengar, down. Golbat, stuffed. But I don't know. Why did I go Thunderbolt? What am I, insane? No, it worked anyway. I think it was a safe PP, actually. Arbok is a literal nothing. I thought Surf was going to get it out of range, but it didn't. So, at that time it did. So, I guess I didn't need to waste our time with full restores. Of course, if Gengar number 1 dropped, yeah, this Gengar is going to drop too. Haunter, if it's literally just weaker Gengar. What do you know? And Lance is extremely easy with Starmie, because Starmie has every single move apart from Psychic that's super effective against his entire team. His lead, Gyarados, is quadruple weak to Thunderbolt, so of course it's just dropping. There's no hope for it. I'm sorry, Gyarados. Actually, no, I'm not sorry. This thing was my torment back when I first played this game. Screw you, Gyarados. Dragonair, yeah, it just drops a single Ice Beam. It's not a very particularly strong Pokemon. Dragonair, again, is just another goober. Ignore him. He's that kid you ignore from school. Dragonite, yeah, he's supposed to be the star of the show, but he just drops to a single Ice Beam. That's what happens when you have a quadruple resistance? I wish he did. No, quadruple weakness. You see, that's how important speed EVs are. Aerodactyl has a base 130 speed, and Starmie has base 115. But of course, with the EV training, of course, they don't have EVs. I can outspeed them perfectly fine. You thought the champion was bad? No. Absolutely not. Cakewalk. I go for Thunderbolt to see how much I can do. And it doesn't quite drop it, which I wish it did. I was like, okay, it's just 2 Surfs time. Or 2 Psychics in my case. And what I love so much is that I don't need to be over leveled. I don't need to do anything crazy like some of the challenge videos that you see often, where they have to over level like crazy. No, Starmie is just that powerful. It doesn't need it. It doesn't need it. The only thing I complained about just a little bit was my Starmie did not drop the Venusaur. But then again, if I was level 63, then the Starmie would definitely drop the Venusaur in 1 Psychic. But that's okay. It used Solar Beam, but since it can't use a Full Restore to negate itself, it's not going to. A non-stab Thunderbolt doesn't matter. Drops to a single one. Quadruple weaknesses are crippling. What can I say? Alakazam, it poses the most threat here, even though he still doesn't. Look at how a resisted Psychic did. That's not fun. That's okay. Drops us 2 Surfs. Rhydon. My favorite Pokemon. No, he's not my favorite Pokemon. He's kind of cool, though. I do like Rhydon. And just like that, Starmie dropped every single one. And keep on, this is just taking... There is no... The other ones are going to have a lot of clips because they're a little more RNG dependent. But there's no RNG dependent here. It's just Starmie bulldozing the Elite Four. And honestly, that's why he's a contender for just the best Pokemon in the entire game. Well, before you get the legendaries, that is. And look at that, just a single Starfish. Just a single one. Pinsir is not really a Pokemon that you'd really consider in a playthrough, just because it doesn't have stab bug moves like how it does in Gen 4. It's basically just the worst Heracross, but I have a soft spot for Pinsir, and I loved absolutely tearing apart the Elite Four with just a single Pinsir. So what does he have that will enable him to do so? He has Swords Dance, the most broken boosting move in the entire game, apart from, well, one more we're going to see later. So for now, Swords Dance is just incredible. After a single boost, I take out an entire Dugong. That is incredible. And I think, yeah, Pinsir just goes on a rampage for the next 5-6 turns. Lorelei is kind of a joke, and this is going to be a recurring theme throughout. I'm pretty sure most pokes can deal with Lorelei. Yeah, after 2, yeah, non-stab Earthquake just takes out a Slowbro. That's just how much attack, and of course, how much attack investment really helps in taking out these guys. Non-stab Earthquake, again, taking out a Lapras. I mean, granted, I am +4 right now, but still. And of course, I outspeed Jinx, one-shot it with Earthquake. Nothing spectacular, nothing to write home about. But at the same time, this is Pinsir, and no one really uses Pinsir at all. And I hope maybe, just maybe, this video will make someone appreciate Pinsir just that much more. I teach it the move Return because it's just great neutral coverage against everything. And it has actually just 2 more base power than Earthquake. So in neutral circumstances like Cloyster and whatnot, it's going to do a little bit more damage. Now, is it that much more noticeable? I don't know. Someone's going to have to crank the numbers for that one. Of course, Bruno. Most pokes don't struggle against Bruno because Bruno is kind of a silly goober. Here he is leading with his Onix again. This is just perfect setup fodder. Now, it's not completely perfect setup fodder just because Rock Tomb lowers my speed. And I don't want to be outsped by anything. I just want a clean one-hit in KO throughout just to make things easier for myself. Sometimes Hitmonchan can go for counter, anticipating a move, so that's why I went for the Swords Dance here, but I think, yeah, he just went for Rock Tomb. And of course my speed is down the toilet. But for some reason, Hitmonchan is just so slow that -2 speed Pinsir, granted with a Jolly Nature and max speed, can still outspeed. Now I think, yeah, it sends it a Machamp. It's not going to do anything again after 2 boosts. It can't hurt me at all. Let's put it this way, 2 boosts is like making it so that Machamp is weak to the return. And coming off a massive attack, yeah, that's going to hurt. Hitmonlee outspeeds and uses Mega Kick, but of course Pinsir has a really underrated high defense stat, so it takes those kind of attacks up the chin. Very well. Onix again, well, you saw what happened to the other Onix. Not very surprising. And here's the really clutch 110 base defense that he has, surviving a double edge from that low of health. And this is how important leftovers is. I'm pretty sure I would have fell to that double edge if I didn't have that chip heal from before. Now Agatha is a curious case because he doesn't learn a ghost move, he doesn't learn anything neutral that can hit him neutrally that's even effective. And you're gonna also see me swap out for a Chesto Berry, and you're gonna see why later. But the only attack that can hit is Rock Tomb, and Rock Tomb is non-stab, 50 base power. So I'm basically throwing pebbles at it. And I have to bank on the fact that Pinsir just has high attack. And also, you're going to see here, the toxic stalling. The toxic stalling. I can hit this. Remember, -1 evasion? Yeah, that's not going to... With an 80 accuracy move, that's not going to work. However, I landed here, but you're going to see that's just... This is just a slow, painful death of Toxic. So if in case you didn't know, Toxic just makes it so that every turn the poison damage does more and more, so it just ramps up. And I do not have enough health to survive the next few attacks, and it's quite a tragedy even after landing that Rock Tomb. So I decided, you know what, I'm just gonna cut it and we're gonna do another attempt. And this other attempt went a lot more smoothly than previously. And you're going to see why that is. So double team again. I don't know how or why Pokemon just is obsessed with evasion boosting moves. But somehow I land that. Now if someone can do the calculations on their own, oh, what is that, like a 50% chance of an 80%? What is that, like a 40% chance of that even hitting? Yeah, not gonna cut it. So everything just kind of dropped. And notice, Arbok's Intimidate does not lower my attack because Hypercutter is an underrated ability. So now I still maintain my boosts even while there's an Intimidator. Is that a word? Intimidator? Sounds kind of funny. But look at that. Uh-oh. Gengar survived. But no fear. Look at that. Chesto Berry. But it's kind of weird. I mean, granted, the Gengar is 1 level higher, and I am using a pathetic move, but come on. But I figured out it was a range. I didn't have to keep successively hitting Rock Tombs over and over and over. So that's good. That's good. Down with the Agatha lottery. And I'm being serious. It is a lottery. Lance, you're gonna see Gyarados is just setup fodder because he doesn't have physical water stab like in Gen 4 onwards. He's stuck with Dragon Rage. Fixed 40 fixed 40 damage to me. That is pathetic. That is, no, how is that even on a high level Pokemon is beyond me. So of course, Gyarados is just setup fodder. He's trying to hit me on my lower special defense, but Gyarados' special attack is miserable. Yeah, look at that. Doing peanuts to poor Pinsir. If anyone gets the references to these names, by the way, comment below and I'll pin it. I'll pin it if you even will engage with the video. Anyway, so you're gonna see there I missed Rock Tomb, and that costed me greatly. Look at that, lower speed, and it goes for Ancient Power. I'm weak to Rock, and oh, look at that, good, a boost in every single stat. What is my luck? And I think Yeah, it dies to Rock Tomb, cool, but now Dragon Knight appears and just one-shots me with Outrage. Tragedy. You know, I'm in outrage at this point. You saw me, visible frustration right there. So I learned that Rock Tomb kind of sucks, if you haven't already. And I boost again, and this time I go to +6. And I do that so I can one-shot Arrow with Return, and remember, he's a rock type, so Return is resisted damage, but that's okay. Do I want resisted damage, but 100 accuracy, or super effective with low accuracy? Yeah, I know what to choose, especially in a volatile situation like this for Heimdall's health. And notice his health every single turn just keeps increasing, and it's that much more poignant for me. It's that much more advantageous for me. See, we're using big words around here. We have to bolster our vocabulary. We have to ascertain some things. So Dragon Knight appears in the same moment, but guess what? I outspeed. Neutral return from +6. Yeah, it's not surviving. I'm sorry, Dragon Knight. You look funny, but your looks alone can't save you here. Dragonair is just such a forgettable Pokemon. Who even remembers Dragonair? I don't know. I think we only do from videos like these. And of course, what do you think the little goober Dragonair is gonna do? It's just gonna fall. I don't feel bad for him, by the way. I really don't. Like, I really, really, really do not. So, you think it's just smooth sailing from this point on? Well, I think so, actually, if I remember. This is just me commentating after the fact. So, I apologize for the unprofessionalism. Is that a word? Someone comment below whether that's a word or not. I'm sure the grammar police is going to be on my door. So, Pidgeot is a curious case because it can either use Sand Attack or a super effective move. Now, thankfully, you're going to see the leftovers coming in clutch right here. Look at that little sliver of health that I survive on. So I thought, okay, I think this is a perfect time for me to just go ham. But actually, no, Rhydon just comes in and just gets nuked by an Earthquake. But Arcanine has extreme speed, +2 priority. So no matter whose speed stat is faster, it doesn't matter. It'll always get the last laugh. So yeah, down goes Pinsir, and you see the visible frustration. So here I am again, facing off against a champion, and I realized that yeah, whatever previous strats weren't working because it's either my accuracy is reduced or my health is too low. So what I resorted to instead was just knocking out the Pidgeot from full as is, and I didn't know if I was able to do it, but Pinsir is just strong enough. So down goes Pidgeot. Now Rhydon again from even with +2, I can still one-shot it with Earthquake, despite Rhydon's behemoth HP and behemoth defense. Doesn't matter. My good friend Pinsir is still here. Look at the Hypercutter preventing it from lowering my attack, and I outspeed Earthquake because it's trying to use Flamethrower to one-shot me, and it does one-shot me. I've already fell a few times in the process of making this video. Venusaur survived a return, and I didn't quite understand what was happening. But thankfully, Venusaur goes for growth, and I didn't bother to check whether or not this Venusaur has Sleep Powder. I would hope it didn't, because I never used it. So there you go, down goes Venusaur. And the last two Pokemon, okay, notice this. Alakazam has 120 base speed, and I have 85. But just how poignant and how special having a boost nature like Jolly, boosting speed at the expense of my special attack, and EV training is, because now I outspeed Pokemon I have no business outspeeding. But look at that, Gyarados survives the return. I don't know how that happens. So I don't know why I went for a return right there. I should have just went for a Swords Dance, predicting the heal. But of course he does it again, and of course I'm not surprised at all. This is how most champion fights go. And look at that, I predict. This is a pro gamer move right here. I predict the full restore. Ooh, predicting AI? Too easy. So now I get to plus 4, and yeah, Gyarados is not hanging on. So yeah, that's Pinsir, and I don't think anyone really anticipated Pinsir to perform as well as it did. So there's Pinsir.
Soundstripe. Soundstripe.
So for the third entry, we have Poliwrath. Now, Poliwrath is not another Pokemon that a lot of people overlook, but it has that curious move, Belly Drum. And what it does, it boosts my attack all the way up to where it can, so +6, as if I use 3 Swords Dances. And of course, with Fighting Stab and outspeeding everything, yeah, nothing really registers as a threat. And now you think the Slowbro would be a threat, but it doesn't have Psychic, and its Surf only heals me. So yeah, sorry Slowbro. And every single poke here is just brick break fodder, except the Cloyster. He just kind of protects spams. It's not like he's getting chip healing, so there's no real reason for him to be protecting there other than to waste my time. So now we have Jinx here. Of course, I outspeed, use Body Slam, and I use Brick Break. See, I'm edgy. So yeah, that's basically it. Lapras, oh my god. Slow, bulky, cannot survive a Poliwrath Brick Break. I wonder how this looks on Lorelei's end. Just a fast Poliwrath just punching down every single one of her favorite goobers. You only got a taste of the league's power. Yeah. Bruno is basically the same story. He really doesn't accomplish anything other than humiliating himself. So, of course, Brick Break. Rock Tomb is kind of annoying because, again, I get lowered speed and, well, I don't resist Mega Kick, so it's gonna hurt. But luckily, because of the Leftovers healing, you're gonna see me chip and chip and chip heal. But not back to full, but just enough to where I can survive these damage ranges. And of course, Hitmonchan really doesn't have anything to offer. It's frail. Poliwrath's up +6. Max attack UVs. It's not going anywhere. Mega Kick kind of stings. Oh no, it didn't because he missed. 70% accuracy. That's why you don't use these type of moves. Yeah. Machamp, or as some of the British people say, Machamp. I don't know why they say Machamp. It's disgusting. Yeah, there goes Bruno. What a silly little guy. Almost is never a threat in almost any of these runs, and I'm pretty sure J-Rose can attest to that a lot. Hi J-Rose, if you're watching this video, I don't think you are. Rock Tomb. And you're gonna see this coming to bite me. So Poliwrath, other than his Water Stab, which cannot one-shot the ghosts, cannot defeat Gengar. So Rock Tomb is gonna have to be the best I can do. And you're going to see why this is infuriating in 3, 2, 1, go. Confuse Ray, so 50% chance to hit, 20% chance to miss. What are those odds? Like, really low. I'm surprised I even hit that. But that's not the point. He just has a Golbat. Yeah, I hurt myself in confusion. Air Cutter. Losing to a Golbat is not something you like. So I go for it again, thinking, things will be different. And now I have to hit, so what is that, 75% accuracy of 80, quick math, a 60% accurate, so it's like I'm hitting Hypnosis, well now it's even less. So, 40% accuracy? How did I hit that? I have no clue. And of course, look at me shaking the Game Boy because I really don't know what's happening. Golbat. This is another instance where return is just very useful. I had to replace Hydro Pump. I worked so hard to get that Hydro Pump. You have to be like level 52 or something like that. Poliwhirl, you're a goober. But it is what it is. This is the award-winning set. Rock Tomb to hit the Ghost. Just drops. And Gengar, this is infuriating because this Gengar lives. Yeah, this is what base 85 attack gives you in today's in this economy. But thankfully, the citrus berry got it out of range of full restore, and he used a shadow ball instead. So I'm not worried at all. And Arbok, oh, its intimidate would be useful. Would have been useful before, but yeah, it's not. So sorry, Arbok. Screw you, Agatha. Honestly, Agatha has been the pain of today. Agatha is just... I don't know how Agatha sleeps at night. I really don't. And if there's any Agatha fans watching, I don't know what I'd do to you, okay? I don't know. I don't know. I don't. If you're wondering how I have so many of these items, it's because there's a Papa Hefe video where you're able to do an arbitrary code execution. And it's really fun. I recommend giving it a shot. Maybe I'll make a video on how to do it, like point by point, because it's really easy. Here's Gyarados again. Hello, Gyarados. And what's curious about Belly Drum is it maxes my attack no matter what stage my attack is in. So, of course, Twister's gonna just do absolutely nothing. And I would just outspeed everything in return. It's the same story that you've heard. However, there's one case where I got concerned. It's with Aerodactyl because it has stab wing attack, and I'm only half health, so I don't know how much damage that's gonna do to me. However, Poliwrath is just bulky enough to survive an Aerodactyl wing attack from half. Now, I'm pretty sure that's just from the badges, you know, the 10% defense boost they give you, but still. So here I am using Return against a big old Dragonite again. He just drops. Yeah, as I expected. Break for the Dragonair. Yeah, again, Dragonair is just kind of this, just subject to a lot of pain. Poor Dragonair. I don't feel bad for it. What else can I really add, other than the fact that you're just seeing Poliwrath absolutely obliterate everything that's in front of him? So, the champion, Mr. Red, or Blue, or whatever, Gary, or whatever fun swear word you love to use against him. And trust me, I was one of those kids. I love doing that. So again, Pidgeot is a problem because it has either Sand Attack, which will ruin my entire life, or Aerial Ace, which will also ruin my entire life. And you're gonna see a lot of things happen. A lot of things happen at once. I don't know how Poliwrath is just bulky enough to survive that, or maybe Pidgeot is just that weak. But here's a curious oddity, though, is that he doesn't send out Arcanine immediately because he's a fire type, and the AI just says, "Water, fire? Never, I will never do that." So it sends it at last. And notice, I outspeed Alakazam. I have base 70 speed, but that's just what a hasty nature and speed EVs can do, is I'll outspeed pokes that I have no business outspeeding at all. And I was wondering if I'll even one-shot the Venusaur, but I did. It's fine. But yeah, outspeeding Alakazam. And Alakazam has 120 base speed, so don't let anyone tell you that you can't do anything you set your mind to. It's some inspiration for today. And Gyarados kind of pissed me off a little bit because Return doesn't one-shot from +4, because remember the Intimidate, I don't have Hyper Cutter, so that Intimidate mattered. Look at the little sliver of health that this demon survived at. This is unacceptable. So of course, if you remember from Pinsir earlier, he kinda gets destroyed by extreme speed. So what do I do here? Well, I did figure out what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to just hack it again and see what happens. And you're going to just see the importance of leftovers, if I haven't hammered that home already, is it'll make me survive things I shouldn't. Like, obviously like that. That was a very low roll, wow. So, Brick Break, Kapow. There he goes. Alakazam again, I have no business outspeeding him, but who cares? The power of friendship, power of badges, and EV training and speed boosting natures like Hasty would just allow me to get away with it. And of course, you already saw Venusaur from earlier get absolutely pummeled by return. There, down it goes. Rhydon is just gonna get mollywopped by a Brick Break. I don't know why he decided to send Arcanine really late like this. No, this is Gyarados right here, and we saw what happened earlier. So I wanted to see if it was either a range, critical hit, like what. How am I gonna defeat the Gyarados? But it was a range, so I was able to best it. And then here's the Arcanine right here. Look at that. Leftovers healing coming in clutch. Surviving E-Speed. Taking it out with a Brick Break. And yeah, that's the Poliwrath adventure. Again, no one really cares about Poliwrath, but I do. I care about Poliwrath. Poliwrath is in my heart somewhere. Because Poliwrath looks cool. I'm sorry. I don't like Poliwrath haters. Say he's bad or something. No, he's not bad. Sure, maybe his special attack could use some work, and maybe his attack could use some work, but maybe you just need some work. Hypno is a Pokemon that I know like 0 people on the planet care about because, well, we have Alakazam, Starmie, Slowbro as your Psychic type, and a Psychic type with 73 base special attack isn't really one that you'd really consider. However, he does have something redeemable about him. He has something redeemable, and he has a fat special attack and special defense stat. And it's going to come very useful against these special attackers like Dugong and Lorelei. Lorelei was a pain, by the way. This is the only Pokemon so far that has actually struggled with Lorelei. And you're going to see why. If you play competitive advanced, you know that Tyranitar's Sandstorm nullifies leftovers. And if you saw from earlier how powerful the chip healing from leftovers was, you're going to see how beautiful it is for a bulky Pokemon that's really slow and does not do that much damage apart from the litany of Calm Mind boosts that I'm just stacking here. And mind you, this isn't my first attempt. This was several attempts. This is a culmination of like what I'm supposed to do. And you're gonna see here every surf that the Dugong does under Hail sticks. And there's not much I can do, so why am I to chip heal? Well, I'm protecting to stall out hail turns so the next few Pokemon won't be hitting me with attacks that stick. And we don't need that, especially for a slow Pokemon like poor Hypno. And it doesn't help that Hypnosis is 60 accuracy, but that's the beauty of it. Hypnosis allows me to set up, and for longer fights allows me to chip heal. So there you go, the hail is finally gone. See, this is why I love Tyranitar in Advanced OU, because it makes these games a lot quicker by having damage that sticks on Pokemon. So if you have good offensive threats like Arrow or Tyranitar, then every one of those rock slides they're gonna stick. They're gonna be felt in every single Pokemon that is not immune to sand. Oh boy, look at this Lapras right here. So Confuser already makes my life a coin flip, which I don't need. I don't need at all. But it doesn't matter because its effects are already on me. Cloyster only has one attacking move and it's Dive. Yeah, Dive. Not even Surf, not Hydro Pump. I don't know what the developers were doing or thinking when they made the Cloyster, or just Lorelei's Cloyster anyway. So I Fan Protect to get rid of the hail. So my upcoming fights can become a lot easier, and to stall out my confusion turns. Cloyster's kind of an idiot, so it protects for me, and it will waste turns on his own. And Slowbro is a curious case because he's a Psychic type, and I know he dropped right there, but keep in mind I have 6 Calm Mind boosts. 6, and you're gonna see Jinx has more of a special defense stat than Slowbro, so I can't, after +6, I can't one-shot Jinx. This is embarrassing. And what makes it worse is I have a male Hypno, and Jinx just felt the need to attract him, and now he doesn't want to move at all. And then so now I'm just short of a one-shot every single time. Lorelei just spams full restores, while with my limited psychic PPs. So, yeah, Jinx is not making it easy for me. It's not a range either. Look, that was a high roll. That was the high roll. And it still survived, probably on like 1 or 2 HP. This is infuriating. So what I need, there you go, look at that. A special defense drop. That's what I needed. That's what I needed in life. And what do you know, for some reason Lorelei's an idiot and didn't go for, and just thought maybe the immobilization from attract would work. You're better than I thought. So if you're wondering why I ran max special attack, it's because for that's exactly why I ran max special attack. Usually with Calm Mind boosters in any competitive format, you'd increase defense and HP, so that way, because the Calm Mind's already boosting your special attack and special defense, so you don't need to invest in it too much, and you're vulnerable from the defensive side. However, Hypno special attack is miserable, so I can stack however many boosts I want. It's not going to work, and you're going to see how important speed is once it lowers my speed with Rock Tomb. And now it outspeeds me, and I'm struggling to get Hypnosis because Hypnosis is a, let's just say, historically infuriating move on both the opponent's end and the user's end because of its inaccuracy. And now I'm just hoping Hypnosis lands. But at the very least, this gives you an indicator on how bad Onyx is. Poor Onyx. He just 45 base attack doesn't do it for him, especially in front of a bulky Pokemon like mine. With defense invested. There you go, finally. I landed a Hypnosis. This is going to be a long one, isn't it? So I stacked my Calm Minds. I only need 2 because everything here is either their special defense is in the toilet, or they're fighting types, so they're weak to it. So hopefully Hypno can do it, right? Right? No, just kidding, yeah, he just one-shots everything from here. And you're going to see the importance of chip healing, so if you're also familiar with ADVOU, especially with Swampert, Swampert really doesn't have any reliable health and recovery moves like Recover or Soft Boiled, and it only heals from the fact that Leftovers heals it, and when it protects it from an attack it normally would have taken, and it just gets that little bit of HP that allows it to escape damage ranges it shouldn't, or sometimes just go up to full if it's a really long game. And it only chip heals because it's a ground type in a sand world that Tyranitar sets, so everything else is getting hit but you're not. So now you're just this bulky attacker that's just tanking everything and just seemingly lives forever. And that's why I love Swampert so much. And you're going to see me basically take advantage of that with my Protect turns here. So, now look at me. I took, like, how many Earthquakes now? And look how much health I have. It's all the way up there, you know, barring any critical hits. Here's where I do a pro gamer move, because Machamp can't break through unless he uses a Bulk Up. So, I don't know why I decided to protect. He used Bulk Up. Like I don't know why I decided that was a good idea not to just strike at that moment, but it is what it is. But I did another pro gamer move. I predicted his Bulk Up and just went for a Psychic. Easy things. Bruno is a joke, and apart from some extraneous characters, there's not many pokes that would really struggle with Bruno at all. I don't know why I went to my summon right there. It was probably just a heal. Agatha. As you've seen, Agatha, apart from Starmie, everyone's been struggling with, and yeah, it's for good reason, because Agatha is a big fat meanie. Agatha is, as some people would say, no bueno. So obviously she leads off with her Gengar, her trusted Gengar. And from the outset, Toxic. And as you saw earlier, I can't muscle through Toxic at all. Like, at all. So I just I decided to just soft reset and go for another attempt. And what do you know? I actually land my Hypnosis. That's not something that happens very often. So I just start stacking Calm Minds, and I only need 2 because, again, most of the Pokemon here, actually every single one is weak to Psychic. It's weird. Agatha's the Ghost trainer, yet it kind of feels like she's the Poison trainer because of Arbok and Golbat. No, I do not want Future Sight, thank you very much. Future Sight sucks, don't use it. Unless you're in Gen 9. And then Golbat has the audacity to confuse me, and then of course I hurt myself several times in confusion. But that's where the leftovers come in, it kind of negates it. I use Protect because of course I do. And I just hope it doesn't go for confusion again. It's a critical hit, that's not okay. And then but that's okay, I snap out of confusion. And after the snapping out of confusion, Arbok scares me, and you're probably wondering, how does Arbok scare? How does Arbok scare you? He's a goober, he's a joke. Why would he scare you? You see that move right there that he just used? Screech. And what it does is it will sharply lower my defense. So in other words, the next Gengar with a Shadow Ball is going to one-shot me, and that's what I was scared of. You're going to see me shake the Game Boy, because I am shook. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. But this idiot goes for Hypnosis. I have Insomnia. Does the game not know that I'm immune? Well, I'm glad it doesn't know, because I would have lost, frankly. And of course, Haunter just comes in, tries to stack itself with Curse, but it's the last Pokemon, so Curse doesn't do anything. Honestly, it could have just let off with Haunter, and I would have had no response whatsoever. So now I encounter my good friend Lance again. And thankfully, I think Lance might be the easiest Elite Four member to take out, simply because of his, let's just say, interestingness. Let's put it that way. Because his Gyarados is just setup fodder. I don't know who designed a lead like that, where his best move is Dragon Rage, and a normal type move which has no stab from. Yeah, Gen 3 Gyarados is a travesty. And if you see me shake like a spastic, that's because I'm adjusting the camera. Some things just weren't going my way. But of course, I just put her to sleep. And all seems well. Calm Mind galore. I don't have to think about it. And again, my camera is looking like I have Parkinson's or something. Again, excuse it. For the time being, I have no editing background, so the fact that I'm using my actual Game Boy is kind of funny. And yes, it is an authentic copy. Bought it from eBay. Those prices are unreasonable. I'm not maxing out. I'm trying to get the +4 right now because, again, Hypno's special attack is in the toilet. I actually go for a 5th because I tried going for 4, and Dragonite survived a Psychic, and that made me angry. So, for me to prevent that, I just went for 5. I didn't go for max, I just went for 5. And I think that it worked out. Aerodactyl comes, and again, it's going to outspeed me because, well, I'm a Hypno. I can't help but be outsped by everything. But thankfully, Rock types don't resist Psychic, so Psychic it's a one-hit. And look at that chip heal, it's so beautiful. I'm still at half, surprisingly. And also, unsurprisingly, I go for Protect again to squeeze out any bits of health I can get. It goes for Safeguard for some reason, I don't know why. Wing Attack does a lot of damage, but then again, 130 base attack Pokemon with Stab Flying, it's gonna hurt at least a little bit. And here is Dragonair. Again, just me squeezing as much health as I possibly can. Psychic Dragonair just goes down. Yeah, Hypnos was the slowest. The slowest. I mean, it is a slow Pokemon, so that checks out. I don't even know how I outsped the Dragonair, but then again, I am 4 levels above with every single badge. So it's gonna happen at least once or twice. And I go ahead and save here because we both know, dear viewer, that the champion is somewhat difficult when you're just using one Pokemon. And it's not like I'm using Starmie, Superstar over here. I get it. I'm funny, right? I hope so. Leave a like if that was funny to you, and if it wasn't funny, then I apologize. So, I thought I crashed out here because the same situation, Sand Attack or Aerial Ace, and Pidgeot knows my physical defense is quite poor, so it goes for Aerial Ace most of the time. But look at that. 40% accurate, 30% accurate hypnosis. I don't even know how I landed that. So I go for my Calm Minds, and I need to go for a lot of them, because Alakazam will just straight up survive a Psychic if I don't. And there's not much I can really do about that, other than just keep boosting. Alakazam surprisingly has a decent special defense stat. And you're gonna see me, I tried to go pro gamer right here. I really did, to predict when Pidgeot was going to go to sleep. No, we're not going to sleep, was going to wake up. Excuse me. Excuse my French. Calm mind, but look at this. I tried look at the pro gamer move. It didn't quite work. It woke up immediately. But the next one was a pro gamer move because I predicted it. And I think I went for a few more Calm Mind boosts because what else am I supposed to do? I'm a Hypno. Leave me alone. If you're wondering about the name of the Hypno, this actually has no reference to anything. It's just Hypno kidnapped a little girl in the side plot on Third Island, and I just decided, you know what, give him an on-the-nose name. All the other ones have really cool, either esoteric or surface level names that hopefully some people in the comments will be able to identify. But look at this Pidgeot, just making my life miserable. Sand Attack, Sand Attack, Sand Attack. What is my accuracy right now? Like 20% chance to hit any Psychic? It's unbearable. This is unbelievable. How did I even land the Psychic? Why does Pidgeot still have Sand Attack? Pidgey had Sand Attack when you first get it, back in Route 1. The fact that he kept that tech is demonic, frankly. But here am I, protecting in the face of a Gyarados. Look at that, miss. I don't know how I tolerated this. Why did I tolerate this? It's a good question. It's a very good question. But I think eventually I landed it because, well, I had to. This is how important Protect Stalling is, and if you think it's this annoying in ADVOU, yes, it is this annoying, that's why I love using it, because Swampert just lives forever. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, just like watch some Jimothy Cool or something, watch some any ADVOU gameplay with Swampert in it, with Tyranitar and Swampert in it. You're just going to see how frustrating Swampert can be, and you're going to see why every single Pokemon, including sometimes Tyranitar, have HP Grass that just target its 4 times weakness, because it's just so annoying. That's why Mixed Salamence often has Hidden Power Grass. So you're going to see me just deck this Venusaur with a Psychic, and that's fine. Venusaur doesn't really pose much of a threat. Alakazam, our good friend, the one that literally outclasses Hypno in every single way, apart from the HP stat, which really doesn't matter when Alakazam could just outspeed and one-shot everything. Makes me sad that Alakazam is generally better in every single way. Poor Hypno. I always had a soft spot for Hypno. It just looks cool. And now, when I was a kid, I was arguing with my older brother, who's the cooler Psychic type, and I always said Hypno. Because just look at him. I mean, just look at him. He doesn't have a dumb spoon. He has a pendulum. He's actually, you know, he's tactical. He's dripped out. He has a fur coat, kind of. Not really. But Alakazam, I'll give him this though. He does have a good mustache. He does have a good mustache. But look at that. Tanking plus, what was that? Plus 6? Psychic? Poor Hypno. Unbelievable. Why did they curse him with such poor special attack? Like, buff his special attack at least. Give him 90, 100. It wouldn't hurt. Do you think he's going to be an Uber's level threat if he gets level 100? Not level 100. Base special attack of 100. I need English in my life. I really do. And of course, Rhydon is actually the most instantly threatening one here because it has 145 base attack. And keep in mind, I still had the accuracy drop from before, and look at that, I still landed. Unbelievable. This was a crazy run. And I don't want to use Hypno for the Elite Four ever again, because look at all those boosts. Look at all those boosts that I had to do. Was that fun? I can consider that fun. But, yeah, that's basically the rest of the video, I hope. There's no other pokes that I've done this with. And this is just part 1, by the way. I'll have many more to come. So, yeah, take care, everyone.